Welcome to the Emerging Lawyer Series at the Coffee Conversation Show, powered by the Emerging India Forum, TEIF, and a tech partner, Prime Infotech Solution. This is a special episode as August is a festival month. We are celebrating starting from Raksha Bandhan, then Independence Day, Parsi New Year, and the favorite Janmashtami, Dahandi. So we have our guest Nayantara Sanyal, partner at ALMT Legal. This is a special episode where we are at ALMT Legal office. She brings to the table over a decade of rich, varied experience that cuts across corporate, commercial litigation, intellectual property law, arbitration, and civil procedures. Having started a career at marquee law firms like Khaitan and Company, Anand, and leading legal practices across Cochin, Delhi, Mumbai, Nayantara represents the rare intersection of courtroom resilience and compassionate counsel. In this episode, we explore her leadership style, what it means to defend innovation through IP law, her perspective on women in litigation, her enduring commitment to legal aid and outreach. This one's not just about law, it's about purpose, persistence, and people. So, welcome, Nayantara, today's special Coffee Corner
Thank you
episode.
so much, Amir, for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
Okay, so let me explain you. There are 3 rounds:
Yeah.
professional, personal, and a surprise rapid fire
Oh,
round
wow.
where you'll be in the hot seat. So don't worry, you already saw this book, which is
Correct.
already autographed, but you have to be witty, fun, and quick.
Okay, I'll try my best.
So it's like you are at on the hot seat with Coffee with Karan.
Oh, wow. Okay. I just don't want the repercussions that come with Coffee with Karan to come on my
No,
career.
no, no, no. This is a
So-
corporate chat show, so don't worry about that.
Great.
Okay. He's just my inspiration.
Okay, fair.
Yeah. So, friends, I'm Lion Amir Virani, host at Coffee Corner, legal tech evangelist at Prime Infotech Solution, author of 15 books. We help law firms, corporate legal, startup, SMEs, world-class technology, software licensing, and tech training solutions. So, my first question, Nayantara, how was the journey shaped up, and how did it go from your first day to now being a partner at ALMT Legal?
Oh, wow. Okay. So how has my journey shaped up? It's been a very interesting journey. I have been very blessed. It's been a constant interplay between learning and leading. So I started my journey as a junior lawyer in the commercial litigation space with Ketan and Company. Then I moved on to IP litigation with Anand and Anand. So, it's kind of given me the idea of how law operates at both the strategic and human level, which has always been a key focus for my practice, my advice, any of that. It's understanding not just how the law works, but context and curiosity.
Wow.
As for my experience with ALMT, hands down, I have to say, it is one of the best places I have worked with. We have incredible senior partners who are so supportive and so available and approachable that in fact, I've learned so much on how to be a partner, how to be a leader from some of my senior partners here. So it's been life changing, and I'm very grateful that I got an opportunity to work with them.
Wow. So let's dive deep in conversation. From trademark suits to corporate litigation, how do you mentally switch between high stakes intellectual property and commercial matters?
Well, honestly, they're kind of two sides of the same coin. So while IP litigation requires a certain amount of surgical precision, commercial litigation or commercial disputes are way more layered. So IP, you have to have a great clear understanding of intangible assets, whereas when it comes to commercial disputes, your focus is more on relationships and risks. So it's kind of like, if you ask me, flipping a lens in the same camera. So, you kind of have to maintain mental clarity, and one of the best ways I find myself able to do that is by keeping the client's ultimate commercial goals in focus and tailoring the advice, the strategy, the negotiation, whatever the case may be, based on that.
Wow. So Nayantara, you have worked across different cities, Cochin, Delhi, Mumbai.
Yes,
How
sir.
has the culture of litigation evolved across these geographies?
Oh wow, that's a really interesting question. So you're right. I started my career in Delhi, in litigation. Then I moved to Bombay, and then I moved to Delhi again, and then I moved to Cochin. Then I moved back to Bombay. So I've had a lot of up and down, up and down. But
Wow.
each jurisdiction kind of helped me hone different aspects of my personality as a human being and as a lawyer. For instance, Bombay helped me focus on strategic advice, on time is money. So you need to, your advice is more geared towards the commercial aspects of it. Delhi, on the other hand, is more precision driven. You have to know what law you're talking about. You have to know what is the relief you need, and you have to have sufficient evidence to support it. Like for you to get any kind of audience before any kind of judge, these are the basic requirements. Whereas Cochin being a much smaller place, it's a lot more relaxed. It helped me develop my soft skills, where I developed relationships, where advice was based on how what is the interplay between the parties. So even when we were negotiating a settlement, you had to first in Cochin bear in mind the fact that they're brothers or they're siblings, and tailor your advice accordingly, as opposed to a Bombay where your advice would be based on who has the larger chunk of the pie, and you'd structure it accordingly. So I think having that sort of a rounded experience, I want to say, makes me a better person and a lawyer.
Wow. Okay. Uh, I went through your profile and in your recent article, the IP in Bollywood cinema.
Yeah.
Let's focus on that part. And it was very interesting
Thank you.
write up you got across, and I've done with Ranjana Adhikari. She's also is doing good work in the field of OTT
Yeah.
and other speakers out there. So we are planning a panel discussion on how to protect the creative process of the writers, script writers,
Yeah.
different content creators.
Yeah.
So you are there. Then I have someone from the OTT medium, Pep.
Okay.
He now he does consultancy work.
Right.
Then Sujo, many others are there.
Correct.
It will be okay, because now protecting rights, like Sujo was sharing, okay, by we have now become like film writers.
Yes.
So we have to go to the scripts because the production house makes them go to the scripts. So we have to learn that art also.
Correct.
So there are a
Correct.
lot of insights where we'll be having this conversation. So look forward to that. Okay. So in your recent article, you highlight IP law is evolving from registrars to architects of long-term value.
Yes.
What pivotal moments in your career signaled this transition for you?
Well, it's a very hard question when people ask me what is the pivotal moment, because I think as lawyers, every small thing for us, for most people, it might seem very inconsequential and very small, but as lawyers, you're trained to understand the values of the commas and the full stops and the semicolons and every small detail. So, yeah, you're right. Law is evolving. IP is evolving. It is not only, as I mentioned in the article, not only just about the content. It is we become the architects who set up the basis for them to commercialize the products.
Yep.
And so when I was first asked to advise, not on a dispute, but on a film's IP slate before it even went into production, so I realized that we were now part of the upstream creative and commercial decisions. It was no longer just about protecting it, but setting up the scaffolding that would enable them to have clear ownership chains without so the creative aspects are protected without diluting the creative instincts, but you still have to make clear chains of ownership, commercialization contracts, all of that. You kind of want to protect the rights without becoming the person who's the no sayer in the room.
Wow, beautiful. So let's go to the next question.
Sure.
What were the most significant challenges you faced when aligning creative concepts within the IP frameworks for franchises or cinematic universes?
Oh, great question. One of the biggest challenges that I've faced is with regard to scale. So, one script may give rise to multiple rights across borders, platforms, and partners. Now, aligning all the stakeholders and the ownership and the commercialization of those rights while ensuring that the creative vision is not diluted is what I think is one of the biggest challenges. So, you have to think not only as a lawyer but as a creative individual as well. So one of the reasons I love IP is because of the marriage between the letter of the law and yet giving you that freedom of creativity. So I am a very creative person, and I feel this is one of the best avenues that allows me to express my creativity within the confines of the law.
Oh, beautiful. So, Nayantara, you mentioned strategic IP scaffolding,
Yeah.
trademarks, copyrights, design rights, trade secrets. Could you share a memorable case where early IP planning fundamentally altered a project's success?
Yeah, definitely. So we were approached by one of the a company. I'm sorry, I cannot give
Yeah,
you
yeah,
more
yeah.
details.
See, in the 5 years journey, Nayantara, I know how
How
we just need
sensitive information
we just need
is.
merits of the case.
Right.
If it's in public domain, you can name the company.
So
If you
no,
don't, we need viewers out there to understand and young lawyers to know how high stakes goes
Understood.
across. If
So basically, the company wanted to launch an immersive content creation brand, which included your AR filters, web series, merchandise, and all of this was built on two unique characters. So when we came into the picture, we started the IP planning even before the launch. So that included trademarking the characters' rights, the copywriting the designs, created enforceable NDAs. Now, a lot of people assume that IP is just about filing these registrations.
Yeah.
It's not. It is a lot more to it.
it's moved.
Yeah, far
Yeah,
more.
it's far more.
It is about having contracts in place that protect intrinsically the idea, the execution, the expression, all of it. So for that, so one of the things we did was we did strong enforceable contracts for vendors during discussions. I've met a lot of creators who come to me at a belated stage and say, Arey, I went and spoke to X production person. Now they've taken my idea and have gone to Y production house and are making it, and I have been left in the lurch. So even that education to the creatives that look, as much as something I always say is that we have to prepare for the worst when the things are the best. You have to prepare for the dispute when everybody is getting along. And prepare that sort of preparedness then allowed this brand to license their IP internationally without a single hiccup, both at the international level as well as their local, at the local level.
Wow. So now, Narendra, how do you collaborate with creators from inception onwards, and what soft skills help you align legal foresight with creative ambition?
Oh, wow. Okay. I think listening is key.
Yes. Yeah.
Creators don't speak legalese, and they should not need to speak legalese.
Then what will happen to you?
Correct. So we kind of have to, so I make it a point to understand their vision in their language, and then and layer my legal protection around it. So another thing I feel is very important is emotional intelligence, timing, and clarity on are non-negotiables as far as I'm concerned. If you have these three soft skills, not just in the IP space, I feel across sector agnostic, you will do really well. Because it's about as a service provider, you're connecting to the people to understand what their need is. It's not a product you are selling ke bas yahi hai, yahi le lo. That's not how it works. So I think that listening and emotional intelligence and communication skills very important.
Okay. Next question was also interesting. Rights mapping across writers, actors, VFX teams, co-production partners. It's a maze. How do you develop the expertise to untangle these complexities effectively?
Wow. Again, I think this goes back to the same answer I gave you
I
previously.
know,
It's
but you have
all,
to,
yeah, it's all about listening. It's
yeah,
about
yeah. Because now
understanding.
there are too many teams are involved now.
Correct.
You're dealing with so many persons. So how do you manage the time and bringing all on one table? I'm adding another layer.
Right. Great. Thank you for complicating the question a little more. But
So
again,
your expertise is such, so I have to
thank you. You're very
take it
kind
to
of
an,
you.
what are you, higher level of conversation.
So, for I think allow your clients to speak. Let them say whatever they want. I find often an issue with a lot of lawyers is that they want to curate the information that the client is giving them. They want it to fall into these easy brackets that makes it easier for them to correlate it to the law, which is not the case. Like I mentioned, most creators, most regular people don't speak legalese. They don't understand the complexities of legalese, and those who think they know the law are primarily basing it on series like The Good Wife or Suits or something like that, which has absolutely no basis in reality when it comes to India's legal system. So just allowing your clients to express their concern in a way that they are comfortable, in a language that they are comfortable in, and listening to it. It is our job to distill the important information from the fluff, but you cannot cut out the fluff from when the client is conversing with you. So I think is the most important thing. So be it a vice president of a production house, or be it a single script writer or an individual script writer, everyone has the right to express their concerns to their lawyer. And if we work from that space of respect, I think it makes life a lot easier.
Yeah, very true. Okay. Next one also very interesting. We're going on a global level.
Okay.
Global rollouts expose IP to threats like piracy, counterfeit merchandise, domain hijacking. Can you share a high stake situation where swift global enforcement made all the difference? We need just the minutes.
Correct. So
And if it's in public domain, you can.
no, it's not public domain, so I will
know.
just give you the
Yeah, yeah, it's
merits.
global.
So we have, so I work extensively in the alcobev industry. So one of the major problems we face there is counterfeiting of products.
Yes.
Yeah.
So just wanted to stop you.
Yeah.
There is another coffee speaker who's he is a, what do you say, certified counterfeit a professional. Arindam Hazarika.
Right. You have a lot of Bengalis.
I'll share that episode. That will, so another panel discussion on counterfeiting. Continue,
Definitely.
please continue.
So yeah, so they basically noticed that there were counterfeit products and bootleg merchandise available in the market almost 72 hours after the launch. And because we had taken the necessary steps of protecting their trademark, their bottle design, their registering their trademarks with the customs, all of that, we were able to, get injunctions, get a commission set up with a commissioner, seize the products, and have destruction of the products, along with a dynamic injunction in favor of our client, to within about 48 hours of us getting to know about this, anyone who has dealt with the Indian legal system, the litigious system in our country, understands that while time is of the essence in most cases, time is not really well utilized. But because we had all our backward work done, like all of our back end work in order, be it the registrations, be it the notifications, be it any of that, it moved the process so far. So we got the thing done in 2 hearings, which is almost unheard of.
Wow, that's beautiful. Okay. So from your decade journey, which is that memorable or interesting case where the clients have benefited and you have also learned a lot?
Oh, wow. I want to believe my clients benefit from all of my advice. And I definitely learn from each of my clients because everyone has a unique way of looking at things. Again, I mean, it comes back to the same point of listening. So often it has happened, my clients have taught me how to do a strategy which applies to them, which then has been extrapolated because of experience, etc. I've been able to extrapolate that and apply it to other industries, even though that may not have been the industry where it comes. So I think learning is a two-way street.
Very true.
I learn from my clients and my clients learn from me.
Wow. Okay. So, Nayantara, co-productions across India, US, Europe introduce IP complexity around territory,
Yes.
formats, and exploitation rights. What best practices do you insist on to prevent fractures early?
Wow. So we all know that IP is geographically limited, right? So
Yeah.
each jurisdiction requires a certain amount of understanding of how it works in that jurisdiction. But what it primarily, I believe, requires is understanding on the fundamentals of IP. So if your fundamentals are clear, irrespective of what the letter of the law is, it's much easier to align it. So some of the things that I absolutely insist on is IP ownership clarity, define your derivative rights, define your royalty splits, dispute resolution. All of that should be done at the earliest stages and as clearly as possible. I also very strongly push for version control of agreements, and I maintain a central rights matrix. So that helps a lot. So, and anywhere possible, I build an exit map for the clients. So, like I told you, the time for planning for conflicts is when everyone is getting along. So we must, while lawyers, as lawyers, we hope that that your transactions and your interactions go really well and go exactly how you envisioned it. What our job primarily is to ensure that if things go down the toilet, you are not left in the lurch. You are adequately protected. And often we come across as these terrible, negative nannies who are just sitting there saying, but इस पे झगड़ा हो सकता है, but उस पे problem हो सकता है. And I have clients who told me, Arey, but he's my brother, she's my sister, nothing's going to happen. And when they don't listen and they don't put in that, I've seen 9 out of 10 times, that is the reason they go to court and end up in court and litigation for years.
Very true. Okay, this is for all the young lawyers out there.
Oh, wow.
How do you manage pressure and productivity during high stake cases?
Oh, I mean, I'm also kind of figuring that out still, because each case and complexity brings a new level of stress.
I know.
And depending on which level you are at, whether you are a junior associate, senior associate, principal associate, or partner, your stress kind of gradiates accordingly. But I think one of the things that really helps is talk to your senior partners, talk to people who have more experience in the field than you, ask them how they would have dealt with similar situations. Get a therapist. I think everybody should have a therapist. Please speak to your therapist, it's very important. I have one and I'm very glad that I have one. And I also think meditation, like, just take a little bit of time at the end of your day to sit down and focus on how your day went. I mean, I'm not asking you to make a journal. I'm not someone who likes journaling or writing down things. I just find that induces more anxiety. But find something that works for you. Like for me, sitting down at the end of the day, cuddling my dog. Sometimes I just talk out strategy with my dogs.
Wow.
Because, I mean, I'm sure they understand nothing of it, but at least it
They
helps.
can.
Yeah, maybe. Well, we don't know.
They communicate in their ways.
Correct. But I wouldn't take my Labrador's opinion on legal strategy. But what it does help me with is that it helps me focus my thoughts,
Yes.
helps me plan out my strategy, all of that. So find a safe space, talk to people, you don't have to win this war alone. You are
Yes.
not alone.
Yeah, very true.
Also, one of the things I always tell my kids is that almost everything has already been opined on. If you are confused, if you don't know how what the interpretation is, look up case law. There is nothing, almost 99% of everything the judges and the courts have already given us guidelines on. So, yeah, take it step by step and read judgments. Read a lot of judgments. That gives you strategy, that gives you language, that gives a lot of that. Wow, I sound like one of those really old lawyers,
No,
but
no.
I mean, this is exactly how I learned, so
Yeah.
this is all I can do.
Very
But
true.
yeah, find a safe space, get a therapist.
Very true. I did a coffee with Neeraj Vyas. He is, what do you say, believes and takes actions for mental wellness in the legal industry. So he's a partner at Saga Legal. That was wonderful of him. कि भाई and advocacy for mental wellness.
Yes, yes, it's very
And
important.
you openly sharing so many, what do you say, things to do. So not
I
only
mean-
for law, not only for legal industry professional, this applies to high pressure
Yes.
professionals out there.
I mean, when we were, again, I sound so old, but when I entered the profession, when we entered the profession, it was a very different sort of a profession. It was, wear your big boy pants and deal with it.
Yes.
Your problems are your problems. Nobody cares. Don't sit and cry in office. Nobody's paying you to do that. And I know the amount of breakdowns I have skirted by simply because I didn't have that safe space to go to someone to talk to or reach out to. And if you said that, oh, I'm speaking to a therapist and all, people would just say, पागल वागल हो गए हो क्या मैं क्या हुआ नर्वस ब्रेकडाउन हो गया बर्नआउट हो गया but I've been in the field for 15 years now because I've had seniors and I still do have seniors who are very open to you coming up to them and saying look I'm feeling overwhelmed. In fact, even now if I go speak to one of my senior partners, and it has happened to me, I have an elderly parent at home, so that requires a lot of
Yeah.
mental space. And the ability that I now have, and people who are in positions of power now, like our current senior partners, etc., they're so approachable and so open. Like I can go to them and say, look, I don't have the mental space to take on any more work because I need this thing. And they don't care. They don't care about the numbers. They don't care about your overheads. What they do care about is your well-being.
Wow.
And that is something I'm trying to filter down to my juniors as well,
Wow, beautiful.
so that they don't have to go through the nonsense that we put up with.
Wow, beautiful. So now AI is impacting everywhere.
Oh.
How is AI impacting the world of IPR laws, and how is legal professionals like you adapting to this new world?
Wow. Okay. So let me answer your second half of the question first. I think there is no other option but to adapt, because you're either going to be a lawyer who works with AI or you're going to be a lawyer that's replaced by AI. Now you can choose to be either or.
Yeah.
As far as how it is impacting IPR law, I mean, it is going to the very fundamentals of IPR. For instance, under the Copyright Act, we have the concept of authorship. Now, the debate is about whether authorship is a purely human endeavor or can generative AI's content be considered authorship. In this case, who would own that? If it is a machine learning algorithm that has created something, who owns it? Is it the machine? Is ownership of IP something that has to be done by an individual, or can a machine own it? So all of this is up in the air. In fact, AI has almost a direct fundamental impact on the interpretation of the basic principles of IP.
So-
Primarily interpreting the existing, interpreting the existing framework in the new context, because our laws are slow to adapt.
Wow. Okay. So, Nayantara, if you could reform one area of litigation or IP law in India, what would it be and why?
Can I give you two?
Yeah, two.
Okay.
You can give three also.
So one of the primary ones that I think really needs focus on is IP awareness, and I don't mean knowing that there is something called trademarks or patents or copyrights, but actually understanding the value it brings to you and how to create. Like, I mean, IP lawyers like myself go horse in the throat saying IP valuation is not created through registration; it is created through enforcement. And that kind of awareness that just because you've registered a trademark does not so moto make it valuable. It is valuable because you have to do a lot of follow-up actions on it. You have to prevent third parties from using it. You have to prevent dilution. You have to prevent passing off. You have to actively protect, just like any property. If you have a piece of property and you don't put a fencing around it, and then someone comes and takes over a portion of your property, you cannot then go back to court and say, "Arey, usne mujhse chori kiya." The court will say, how is he supposed to know? Same logic. You just because you've gotten that the registration done doesn't mean the other person will know about it. It is your responsibility as the IP owner to create that awareness. That's one. And the second thing I think is timelines. Not just at the litigious space where we're before the courts of law, because we all know that courts take time because of a number of reasons. In our country, to a certain extent, the process is punishment. But at the registry level, at the first stage, is where I think timelines become very important. Even though there are statutory safeguards put in through the acts, for instance, like you have to file a reply to an ER with examination report within a month, or you have to file an opposition to a trademark within 4 months of its publication. But the enforcement of these things, the responses from the registries, how they handle these things, they take forever. For instance, we filed so many trademarks last year, over 208 trademarks, but we've got responses from them, from the registry, for maybe less than 20% of those applications, which is ridiculous, which defeats the whole purpose of filing for, because your launch gets delayed.
Yes.
Your entire schedule gets impacted because the registry is not moving. So I think some sort of a mechanism to fix that. I mean, they are digitizing it, they have digitized it, but another problem is the digital portals don't work. Like, I have had experiences where my juniors have taken 12 hours to file one application because the website just keeps hanging. So you have to keep reloading it, then you keep uploading the same document. So they've uploaded the same application 5 to 7 times. Wow. So those kinds of very basic things, I think, need a little bit of attention. But then again, I think by virtue of the fact that our country is so huge and we have such a large population, and everybody can be an entrepreneur and everybody is equal before the eyes of the law, I understand the difficulties, but there has to be another way around it.
Very true.
Though they have started something very, very good now called the open house that the trademark registry, all the registries do. So they have a fixed time when practitioners can speak to the registrars directly and address their concerns, etc. So that's a great step in the right direction, I think.
Wow, beautiful. So my last question for your professional journey round: what's your vision for the next generation litigators, especially women out there?
Ooh, that's a very special question, because I feel very strongly about women in law.
I know.
I think we were always told that you have to walk into the courtrooms or into the boardrooms with preparation. I think preparation is not enough. I think it's time women enter these places unapologetically as themselves. We're always taught to make ourselves smaller, to start conversations by saying, "Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt." No, that needs to stop. We have as much of a voice as any man there. I think that is something very specifically for women. I think we need to move beyond this survival mode and into a space of leadership and visibility. And so my vision would be a bench and a bar that reflects that. that reflects the diversity that our country has. And I don't just mean demographically, but one that about how it approaches justice, because the more women get involved, the louder the woman's voices get in this space, the more our rights get protected, the more we're able to spread the awareness of our voice, or the need of our voice of being heard, be it in the courtroom or the boardroom.
Wow. Okay, so let's go to the next round and understand Nayantara as a person. She has shared some details in the professional round. Tell us about your family and your formative years.
Oh wow, formative years were a while ago, but family wise,
I know it had to be why.
I'm a single child. I lost my mom about
Sorry to hear.
4 years ago. She was my strength. I am who I am because she was as adamant about making me who I am. And her ability to stand up to people. She was the one who never gave, I mean, pardon my French, but she never gave a shit about what people thought about her, and she raised me the same way.
Wow.
And my father is retired now. He's 82 years old.
God bless you.
But he was in the alcohol industry. He has an alcohol company, and he's basically, you know, the very old saying, or rather, you know, hackneyed saying that behind you know, if you see a woman who is strong and independent and unapologetic about her self and her voice, it's because her father chose to believe her over what others say. That would embody my dad.
Yeah.
So I've been, touchwood, very blessed that way, to have parents who have nurtured me, encouraged me, allowed me to make my mistakes, been there for me when it comes to, you know, even things that a lot society still is uncomfortable with. Like, for instance, I'm a divorcee, and my father was the person who told me that you don't have to put up with bad behavior. You can leave. And somehow hearing that from a parent figure, knowing that, okay, because we're also fed this constant narrative of log kya kahenge, mummy papa ke ghar mein boj, and all of that sort of nonsense. And to hear your parents say that, like, no, I don't know what you're talking about. So that kind of a confidence. So I'm very blessed that way. I have great parents, and that has made me who I am today.
Wow. Okay, let's go to your law college days, government law college. Your memories, experiences, how did it help in shaping your career?
So GLC is a great place to hone your own skills of research, of understanding of law, and they give you that space. It's one of the few colleges where your worth isn't based in your attendance, your understanding, your ability. So I think the fact that I went on to litigation, I still do a lot of negotiation, etc., is because I was as actively involved, and I was given that opportunity in the moot court association of our college. I also think GLC's principle that you can work from like your second year of law school, work with intern with law firms, is incredible, because a lot of our interns now come in for like 2 months or like 3 months, and by the time they get used to the type of work, they settle in, it's time for them to leave, which is not something I as a student at GLC ever had to worry about. So I could start working effectively from my second year. In fact, thanks to firms that pay your interns, I was able to stop taking pocket money from my dad from my second year of my law school.
Wow, beautiful. So, Nayantara, is there a personal routine or ritual that keeps you grounded?
Yeah, quite a few actually. Like I said, one of the holy grails for me is to be able to go home and spend that time with my dogs and my cat. So taking them for a walk, giving them a shower, but spending that kind of time brushing them, giving them treats, teaching them new tricks, like teaching my 10-year-old dog how to do nose work. So now he knows how to sniff out things. And so that kind of stuff, stuff that isn't primarily cerebral, but allows me to, connect with another creature at a very fundamental level, helps me. It may not be for everybody, but it definitely helps me.
Wow. So, Nayantara, you've been part of multiple outreach and volunteering programs. What drives your commitment to social work?
So my mother always told me that if you come from privilege, it is your responsibility to ensure that there is a benefit that comes from that privilege. So that's kind of those words that stick with me, that there are certain things that I could do because of the fact that I come from a certain place. And those are fundamental things. So, for instance, access to higher education. Now, that is something I feel very strongly about. So, be it working with, women from a particular socio-economic group where where I sit down and I talk to them, I talk to their daughters, and I explain to them how, just because you're of a certain age doesn't mean you have to get married. That marriage is not the ultimate goal of anybody's life. Then speaking to them, guiding them with regard to what courses are good option. You don't have to be super educated or super, eloquent or any of that to be financially independent. So to give them access to the knowledge that I have from my experience and my exposure is one of the things. And the other thing I work very closely with is animal welfare, and that's because I am a pet parent. I mean, my pets are the light of my life, literally. So I feel they can't talk, they can't express their needs. So it is a responsibility of society to take care of beings that cannot articulate their needs. And I also think it's a reflection on the type of society we have in how we treat our animals, stray or pet. So those are a few fundamental things that push me, or I make time for this.
That's beautiful.
Thanks.
So, what's your go-to book or series when you need to disconnect from the legal grind?
Lord of the Rings. I think I've read that, the series, I think I've read it about 5 or 10 times. Also, it might sound very, very stupid, but there's nothing quite like a trashy romance novel that, makes you reassess and say, oh wow, my life isn't that bad. But yeah, so anything that gives your brain a break.
Yep.
So for me, it's not only reading. So I paint. So that really helps me relax. So that's a great space for me.
That's beautiful.
But Lord of the Rings, hands down.
So, if your friends had to describe you in 3 words, what would it be?
Oh wow. I think this is something you should probably ask my friends.
So, we are starting one KBC style to
But
all your friends.
I would want to say so I have a very, very close group of girlfriends who would probably describe me as brightness, like just sunshine and happiness, as someone who shows up for them, shows up for the people who she cares for, and someone who's no nonsense. I have no time or inclination for playing mind games or participating in mind games or any of that. And I don't have respect for the people who do it either. I'm aware enough to be able to see through most people trying to do it. And I have no patience or respect for people like that. So that's probably it.
Okay. So, my last questions will be reflective. What are your plans for 2025 personally and professionally?
I'll be very honest with you. I'm a very big believer in man proposes, God disposes. So, more so after losing my mother. So, for me, yeah, I set very vague goals. For instance, um, professionally, my goal is to get more, is to upskill, is to enroll in a couple of programs that, help me upskill the quality of work and my qualifications, which is what I am focusing on in this year. Of course, giving my clients exceptional service, converting more clients, but I think those are common goals for everybody when it comes to the professional space. As far as my personal goals for 2025 is, I think, to relax, to not feel guilty about needing to take a break. I think that is something I am actively working on, because we're taught so often that the moment if you are not productive, then you are lazy, and kind of trying to unlearn that narrative is my focus for 2025 personal front.
Wow. Okay. We have got a series at the Coffee Con show, Sri Shakti. What does Sri Shakti mean to you?
Oh wow. I think the freedom to choose.
Wow, beautiful.
Irrespective of what you choose, the freedom to choose, and to choose from a place without judgment. So if you choose to be a working woman, you choose to be a working woman. Choose to be a homemaker, you choose to be a homemaker. You choose to be a socialite, you choose to be a socialite. But that choice should be your own. So that freedom of choice without having someone else decide or push their narrative down your throat, I think is Sri Shakti.
Wow. So my last one will be a googly one.
Oh wow.
Just from your point of view, describe Nayantara in one line.
Oh wow. In one line. um, Ever learning, ever evolving.
Beautiful. So let's put you in the hot seat, the rapid fire round.
Oh my gosh, I'm very nervous about this.
Your favorite color?
I have three: black, red, and gray.
Wow. Litigation or arbitration?
A bit of both.
Early mornings or late nights?
Late nights.
Favorite court to appear in?
Bombay High Court.
One legal myth you wish more people knew wasn't true?
Like I said, registration does not ipso facto to convert to valuation.
Wow. A superpower you wish lawyers had?
Ability to turn back time.
Your go-to comfort food after a long day in court?
Oh, bhate bhat, dal sheddo, alu sheddo, dibi sheddo. Which basically translates to
Oh, please.
bhate bhat is like congee with boiled potatoes mixed with mustard oil, green chili, and raw onion, and boiled egg, jammy boiled eggs.
Wow. Best piece of advice received?
Your actions have consequences that only you will have to bear.
Kerala calm or Mumbai hustle?
Mumbai hustle.
Tea or coffee while drafting?
Always tea at any point in time. I haven't touched coffee in about 15 years now.
Wow.
So-
Let's toast.
Cheers to that.
So you did well, and
Thank you.
here's your book.
Oh, thank you so much.
Wait, it has been autographed also.
Oh, how cool is that? Thank you.
So, friends, it was a lovely conversation with Nayantara. Your journey is nothing short of inspiring, a true testament to what happens when intellect meets integrity and purpose. Powers of practice. From courtroom battle to creative content rights, you have navigated the legal terrain with grace, grit, and a deep sense of responsibility. Your voice not only champions innovation but also uplifts the next generation of litigators, especially women carving the space in IPR across not only India, globally.
Thank you.
Thank you for sharing your story, insights, and the heart behind your hustle. Years to more wins both in law and life. So, our viewers out there, subscribe to the Coffee Corner Show, where there are 500 plus coffee speakers who have shared their inspiring stories personally, professionally. So, watch and learn, implement in your life. There will be a transformation, because at Coffee we believe, once you come to the get featured on the Coffee Corner Show, you're part of the Coffee Tribe community, and our mission is कि ये sorry, memory maker, change maker, and bring smiles for lifetime. So this is what the Coffee Connection brings. And if you want to be featured like Nayantara, she got referred to one of the coffee speakers. So thanks to Debashish Roy Chaudhary.
Thank you,
Sincere
Debashish.
gratitude, because it was a lovely conversation
My
about learning what IP is, like new. See, OTT has changed, created new
Yes.
avenues for all the people out there, and lawyers like Nayantara is protecting their rights and giving them their credits.
Their piece of the pie, so to
Huh?
speak. Their piece of the pie, so to speak.
Yeah. So you can visit our website, the Emerging India Forum, or LinkedIn page, or like Debashish referred Nayantara, there are coffee speakers out there. You can connect with them and put in a word, and our team would happily invite you to have conversation over a cup of coffee. And we have got a few slots for in person. So Nayantara is one of the privileged to have
Thank
this
you for
in
having
person
me.
conversation. Yeah, because see, in person requires a lot of efforts, team, and everything. And this is a social initiative. This 5 years journey, and the show goes on, and the conversation inspires not only me but our viewers, the speakers. So thank you.
I'm very grateful for this opportunity. Thank you very much. Thank you.